welcome to another session of Neighbors and Friends. We're going to talk about some civil rights cases today. Air Force nurse serves by fighting back. Margaret Witt's idea of playtime was a bit unusual for a girl growing up in the early 70s. Dressed in a military uniform, she bandaged wounded soldier playmates, just like her heroines, Florence Nightingale and Clara Barton, had actually done in wartime. They had that little something extra, and I wanted to be like them, Witt said recently in explaining why she joined the Air Force 22 years ago. I wanted to be all I could be, and I wanted to have not a job, but an adventure, a service. In her real-life job as a military flight nurse, Witt quickly proved to be an extraordinarily talented leader. The Air Force featured her in recruitment materials for more than a decade. But in 2004, Major Witt was told she was being investigated over an allegation that she had been in a committed relationship with a civilian woman. The investigation led to her discharge, but also to a new opportunity to serve our country by fighting the Don't Ask, Don't Tell gay ban. She won a groundbreaking ruling by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals that the military can't keep doing assembly line discharges. Instead, it must prove that the targeted gay service member, specifically Witt, actually undermines morale or unit cohesion. The high-stakes case is headed toward what could be a dramatic moment. The military, represented by the Justice Department, must soon decide whether to ask the Supreme Court to step in. If the top court, which has long ducked gays in the military cases, doesn't get involved, the next step will be a federal district court trial in which the military must prove that Witt's lesbianism, her lesbian relationship, hurt military readiness. It is the first time that the military has been told you have to show cause as to why it is that Major Witt's presence in the military will undermine morale and discipline in such a way that it will do harm to the military. And we know that they can't do that. Retired Colonel Marguerite Kammermeyer, another gay pathbreaker, declared at a recent dinner where Witt was being honored. Now, if you don't know the story of Major Kammermeyer, I had the privilege to meet her one time at a conference. If you don't know her story, Google her or get the movie made about her. Witt went to great lengths to keep her military colleagues from knowing she was gay. She and her then partner lived across the state of Washington from her base. I want to stop reading the article for just a minute. Witt and her then partner. What's the government got doing messing around with a relationship? I can't help but think that this public position the military put Major Witt in would have been the cause of the breakup. Pretty sad indeed. Judging from comments from Air Force personnel who served alongside Witt, they wouldn't have cared anyway. In legal documents, They said that what hurt morale was seeing this woman get booted out. Welcome to another episode of Neighbors and Friends. We're filming this just days after the monumental Iowa Supreme Court decision, which allows lesbian couples and gay couples to have marriage and honor their families, celebrate the same thing that everybody's brothers and sisters want to celebrate. The fact they find someone to love and who loves them. We have with us Jen Barbarowski and Dawn Barbarowski.
Yes.
And your girls, Bree.
McKinley Barbarowski and my little sister Brianna Barbarowski.
Okay. So we would like to know, I suppose, first of all, where you women grew up and how you met.
Well, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs. I grew up in Wheaton, Illinois. My family has since moved out of the area and are kind of in different places around the country and actually have some family local. Dawn grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. Actually, you were born, I guess, in Pennsylvania, but you grew up in Jacksonville.
Yes, my father was in the military, so we moved a little bit. But then I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, and went to college in North Carolina. And from there, I got a job out at Grinnell College, and that is where Jen and I met. She was living there, and I was working there, and we met playing softball, actually. And,
Traditional.
So that was 18 and a half years ago. So we're a little different now, but
Right.
still incredibly in love.
Okay. I can see that. So 18 and a half years and 2 children later, here we are.
Here we are. What a
Okay.
fabulous time.
Right. And the girls,
I was born in Iowa.
that's good.
All
And
right.
I was born in California.
You were?
Yep.
You were working in California or?
We moved around some too. We met in Grinnell, Iowa. We moved to Iowa City. I finished my nursing degree here, and Dawn went to the University for Theater and got her Master's of Fine Arts there. And then we ended up moving to Pennsylvania for a while. We lived out in Pennsylvania for,
About a year.
I don't even know if it was that long. Was it about a year?
Pennsylvania?
That was before you.
Oh.
And then we moved from there to Berkeley, California, well, actually to Oakland, California.
Uh-huh.
And we lived in Oakland for a couple of years, and then we had McKinley. So she was born actually in Berkeley. She's the
Okay.
Berkeley baby.
We lived out there for about 7 years. So working out there, and
I lived
then
in Berkeley.
We started out in
Right.
Oakland and then moved to Berkeley.
Oh.
and then oh, excuse me. And I guess when Kinley was 3, we decided to move back to Iowa City because well, Jen really loves it here. And I've been dragging her around the country with my jobs, and it's a really great place to raise a family, and it was nice to do before McKinley started school, so that we came, and we still had some friends that lived here from when we had lived here before. So they encouraged us as well to move back, and gosh, now it's been
She's
8
11 now.
years or so.
Yeah.
About 8
that we've lived back here in Iowa City. So
So Don, you were working in theater when you were in California?
yes, I had a